My dear community, welcome to my channel. My name is Wei-Jen, and I help people to attract their desired lifestyle and love by expanding their awareness, self-love, and energy vibration. Today's topic that I want to talk about is how does self-love elevate your energy vibration to attract your desired lifestyle and love? So you heard me saying energy vibration and self-love. These two things, they are linking together, right? Okay, so I think it's very important to acknowledge how essential these two elements. Quick story about my background. For some of you may not know where I come from. I grew up in a dysfunctional alcoholic familyhood, and my mother is a very severe, untreated codependent. My father is a functional alcoholic. And so when I became adult in my adulthood or teenagehood, I acted everything exactly like my mother, who is so codependent. And that just drove my life to become so unmanageable. Luckily, a few years ago, I had my humble moment in my personal relationship that led me to started my spiritual awakening journey and the personal transformation journey. And so I made a conscious decision that I am sick and tired of what I was going through, being surrounded, running around in my previous alcoholic partner, and not having any self-center and also any goals, or not feeling grounded in that phase. So I started to seek for resource and help to help myself to get out of that black hole. Now, today I know and I understand how to love myself even better than ever before. And I can see the value of, self-love, that also I can see the value how self-love also is going to affect our energy vibration. And that is something that I want to share with you guys today. Okay, so, life is not either black or white. It is not either sweet or bitter. Sometimes there is a gray area. Sometimes it's bittersweet, right? And how is this going to link it to self-love? Okay, I will give you some examples. I remember when I was younger, in my 20s. I know I still look very young. Okay, I would go out on a date with many different, people, and just like, trying different new shoes and see which one fits the best. But I had a problem. My problem was that I had that inclination of asking good questions and expressing what I am looking for and how does that look like to me. If I wanted to have a long-term, happy, juicy, delicious relationship, what does that look like to me? And how was my ideal partner look like to me? I had a hard time to use a language to describe and to even express and share with my date. Because a huge, major part is because I was so afraid that once I expressed that, by asking questions like, what are you looking for? Or even sometimes after we had sex, I even had a really hard time to ask, where do you stand today, right now, after we just had sex, right? Or I had a really hard time to ask, are we in a committed, exclusive, monogamous relationship or not? Because if you're not, then I'm gonna move myself, away from this position, because I've been waiting for so long and it's time. So those questions, I really had a hard time to have the courage to ask, because the part of me is that I'm so scared to death that they will run away, and that will scare them that will scare them. They will run away by my questions. So that's one thing. Now, does that really work for me by not asking at all? No, that doesn't work for me at all. Instead, by not asking those questions and expressing what I want, it led me to waste my time, because in the end, 5 months down the road, 6 months down the road, or even a year down the road, I found out that we're not on the same page. So what did I get? Well, I didn't get anything except being miserable and desperated and angry and a lot of, untrust and fear and wound, hurt and pain from the rejection, right? And grief. I didn't get, any sense of self-love, because I didn't do anything that I should have done earlier from the get-go by asking questions. And so that is something I think I'm a firm believer that wherever I am, whatever I do, including those experiences when I was, out in the dating world, when I was with different persons, seeing different person, I'm a firm believer still today that those experiences has a lesson for me. And that is something that I feel so grateful that I had those lessons. Because if it weren't those lessons, I probably would still be a train wreck today, flying around and looking for things that, I'm so scared to express, or not knowing, or maybe even not knowing what I'm looking for. So part of the self-love is to be able to ask questions. And because when you ask questions, not only A, what you want, and B, remind yourself this is what you want. And C, letting other people know your desire, your needs, and your feelings. Because when you ask and express and even say no to the things or people that you don't desire to have or to be a part of it, right? Small or big, that small thing can look like, hey, somebody asked you if you wanna, go out on Friday night to join the party, but actually you don't want. You want to spend Friday evening to work on your passion or work on your project, right? Be able to say no is a sign of self-love. Be able to say no is a sign of stepping into your self-empowerment. And don't think that, saying no will lower your energy vibration if it's something that you truly don't want and you have a choice to say no, right? Actually, it feels very counterintuitive when we say, sometimes when we think that when we say no, that's going to, lower our energy vibration. Sometimes no, it's actually the opposite, right? Now, the other example that I had in my past experience is that I said no to a boss who I used to work for. I say no to her because I identified that I was being taken advantage by being asked to do loads of work but only getting a very, very minimum paid. And that is even lower than what the government says the minimum wage that the employees should get, right? So I said no. Yet at the same time, I was very aware that I needed the money, right? So what do? Do I work for money, just for money? Or do I work for money? Do I work for money and my well-being and my happiness and my self-love and energy vibration in order to pursue my dreams, goals, and passion? I know sometimes, things can seem very far, that we have this dream, that we have this future vision, right? That may seem like, this is what we want, but because of the reality, that just lower our energy vibration, because we don't have enough resource, we don't have enough money, we don't have right people in our team, right, to support us. The family doesn't, some people, their family don't even support being an artist, or some family, they don't even recognize, acknowledge, or being supportive of gender, or of their relationship with another human being, right? These are just the 3D reality. And I think the biggest part of being self-love is to not giving your power away. That includes not letting their judgment, their feelings, their thoughts, their opinion about you or your work or anything about you to drop, to lower, to drag your energy vibration, because you are the essence. You are a spiritual self. You are the source of wisdom, love, and energy. You are perfectly enough to be where you are today and what you do right now. You are the essence. There is a purpose why we live on this planet. And how do we practice that for self-love? How do we practice self-love and an energy vibration together? One thing is to practice gratitude, regardless your situation, regardless what other people do, think, say, or our past, regardless how our parents, they treated us so shitty, even though they did their best, they even though they had great intention, right? But they did their best. They did what they knew at that time. Regardless those past other people, what they do, right? In order to practice self-love and then to increase, elevate, and even maintain our high energy vibration is through meditation, awareness, mindfulness, and also practice gratitude. Practice gratitude, can seem like list a couple things that you feel grateful for it right now at this moment. When we feel gratitude, when we feel there's so many things we can be grateful for it, when we are grateful for what we have instead of what we don't have or what we lack, that separation, it generates more love, joy, and happiness, and sometimes even freedom internally. And then that's how we elevate our energy vibration. Regardless, we ask the questions, we step into our self-empowerment, we don't get what we want, right? But there is something you can be grateful for it, which is you asked questions for you, for yourself, for your future, because the small thing every day, the smallest thing, including a ritual, including the routine that we do every single day in every single moment, is going to build up our future vision. So if we don't ask the small things, that we should have asked, this could sound like, asking for compensation to the boss, asking for accommodation if you're going to go for a long trip, asking for, how much is the pay when you get a job, when you're, almost, getting to this position, officially get this job officially, right? Or when you seem like when you go out on a date with this guy or this lady for long enough, right? Asking those questions. Hey, where are we standing today, right? Even though the response may not what you want to hear or you desire to have, but you know what you need to know. And you save yourself to continue to be in that position. If the position doesn't serve you anymore because the information that you, or the response that you receive from another person, right? At least you get to choose, do you still want to continue to be in this position? Or you want to remove yourself away from this position and then focus on something else that is more important and more valuable to you, that will generate more joy and happiness for you. You get to choose with the information that you receive from other people, instead of being blinded and feel so scared that I don't want to ask, I don't want to know. Right? It's a choice. Yet, we may feel scared, yet we may feel fear that we don't want to know, we don't want to ask, because once we know or once we ask, we might lose things. Yes, we can look at that way, that we may lose somebody, we may lose the outcome that we want. But isn't that interesting also? We can choose to look at the same thing from a different angle, which is, okay, it seems like we may lose something or someone, but also at the same time, it gives us more freedom, more room to welcome new people, to welcome new things into our life, right? Isn't that interesting to look at from a different angle, that we get more freedom, we get more time, more space, right? To discover new people, new things in the world. Because this world has so much beautiful things, and we think we know everything, or we think we know lots of things, most of the thing about this world, but actually we don't. Because also, think about it, information keeps updating every single moment, every day. When we wake up, open our eyes, there's AI right now, right? So that is something that I want to share with you guys today, is how I hope you get to see and you can understand better how self-love link it to energy vibration, right? And then once we have these two, we step into our self-empowerment by asking good questions, making a conscious decision for ourselves, right? And then we get to not only elevate our energy vibration, but also we maintain that energy vibration to keep focus on our desire, our dream, and our passion, and to find the things, people that, or the path that serves us, that will continue to support us to drive, right? Instead of feeling drowned and then not asking questions, not loving ourselves enough, and then everything is about another person, their needs, their feelings, but nothing about us. Okay? That is how you attract the love and the lifestyle that you desire to have. And then keep in mind that the process or the exercise of self-love and also elevate and maintain your high energy vibration takes practice. Practice, practice, practice. Now, not only this takes practice, but also this takes time. So be mindful to be gentle with yourself, to be gentle, to be patient with yourself. You are not going to practice every single time perfectly, but you are making progress. And a very important thing to know in this process is to trust the process. Trust the universe, trust your wisdom, and trust that you are perfectly enough just for today. I hope you find this video is very insightful and wise, and give you some more perspective to you. If you really like this video, feel free to like my video, leave the comment. I would love to hear your feedback, and even subscribe my channel. Even share this video with other friends and family. And if you want to dive deeper into personal transformation, please, book a free 30 minutes coaching session with me to find out whether or not working with me is a right fit for you. Until then, I will see you in our next video. Have a fabulous day and namaste.